Yep, we can do one real quick. Thought that was just a kind of a classic two tough teams battling it out, an old Big Ten game, and at the end of the day, they made a few more plays than we did. Have a ton of respect for Coach Underwood and this program, and I think we anticipated getting their absolute best shot, and times it wasn't pretty for both teams, but I thought both teams played really tough, and ultimately for us, we didn't quite play smart enough at times in the second half, both offensively and defensively. But I'm proud of the way we battled. I thought we really stayed together. It's been a real strength for us lately, and some good things to take from it, but certainly disappointed in the result.
Give us a knock. We'll get you a mic for questions. Far right. Oh, Mark, right behind you.
Jake, you said maybe not smart enough at times in the second half. Defensively, the way they were able to get looks at the rim, what was some of that, what you're talking about?
Yeah, we had some defensive breakdowns, and listen, they have a lot of movement, right? And put you in multiple. You got to make multiple kind of communication, execute communication multiple times in a lot of possession. I was disappointed in some of the early in the possession breakdowns we had in that segment where, they came back in the second half. Thought we had a great response early in the second half, but for us, we didn't protect the rim well enough, and we guarded the 3-point line well. That was a big key, but certainly not void of the rim. And you let a team shoot. Let may be the wrong word. I mean, it certainly earned some of those, but 64%, from the field in the second half is not going to be good enough to win on the road.
Obviously, they made some lineup changes. Did you see any impact from that? Obviously, Ivicic being back, but with Perez and Dre in the game.
Yeah, I thought their versatility, being able to play big. They've played significant stretches where they've been smaller. We were certainly, we missed one of our guys that would have allowed us to play a little bigger. But I thought both those big guys were impactful. They were really impactful on the glass. I mean, Perez, Johnson's, work on the offensive glass in particular. Defense was good certainly, but his offensive rebounding was really impactful. So I thought those guys were. I think the rebounding alone was different, than maybe what they had shown in the previous games. But yeah, I mean, I think it was like a kind of a chess match with lineups throughout this game, back and forth, different coverages, and when they got going there offensively, we gave them a couple of easy ones. And I thought that gave them some momentum, and we just didn't quite have the appropriate response on the offensive end during that segment that we needed.
What did you see from O'Reilly in the second half, where he was maybe leading that charge?
Yeah, he's really talented, and when he gets to his spots, there's not much really you can do to stop him because he's got great size and touch. And I thought we lost him there on the three, and then when we were showing zone, but we let him get downhill. Too. We didn't guard him well enough. We talked about it, about how impactful he could be. And I don't know, a couple times we had guys on him maybe had foul trouble, and they let up a little bit defensively. But once he gets that spot downhill, and with his size, he had a size advantage on some of our guys. You got to give him credit. I mean, he played poised. I thought he played really poised with the ball in his hands.
Once you guys went up 68-63 on Bruce's three, what did you see as far as some of the shots you got? You mentioned not maybe being happy with some of them, but did you, in general, like the shots you were getting in that final 7 minutes or so?
I don't want to. I need to go back and look a little bit first, Adam. My gut says no, not entirely. I think we shot some off balance, kind of mid range twos and floaters. I think we talked about, the way their defensive system is set up, they're going to invite you into taking those. And, we talked about, hey, when it's on your terms, you're on balance, like we'll take it, right? We have an ability to make those. But it felt like the off balance ones we could have got later in the clock. We needed to maybe work for something better earlier. And then if we had to ultimately end a possession with that, I was a little more comfortable with that. So it's something we talked about it, and you know, we talked about it before the game, we talked about it throughout the game, and I just felt like we weren't able to kind of decipher in that moment whether to pass that up or not, and it just happened, you know, maybe a handful of times. And that was part of it. You know, I thought we also missed some looks that we needed to make, and you know, there were times there where, you know, we probably needed to an opportunity to get to the free throw line in that moment to settle things, but you know, I think again, it was, I'm talking about us playing smarter, but you got to give them credit too. I mean, they're a really good defensive team, and you know, they had something to say about that as well.
Thanks.
All right, guys, good luck the rest of the year.